Hi, my name is Marcus Locke with Wine Guardian. Today we're going to talk about how to install a through-the-wall Wine Guardian unit. So the first step is to mark out where you want your Wine Guardian through-the-wall unit. The hole size for the through-the-wall is 14.5 by 16.5, 16.5 high, 14.5 wide. In a typical application, you're going to want to locate the studs and then screw your sleeve into the studs. Utilize a stud finder to properly locate the studs and then mark out the hole size. This is a metal wall that was pre-cut, but in a typical location you would want the studs typically will run here and here. Next step is to cut the hole in the wall, again 16.5 by 14.5, 14.5 wide. And then you're going to take your wall sleeve, this is the bottom section, with the angle facing down, and just slide it into your pre-cut hole. Since this is a metal wall, I'm using sheet metal screws. If this was a studded wall, you would use standard wood screws to fasten that in all 4 locations. Next step is to slide the through-the-wall unit through the wall sleeve. Just make sure you have your cord up because the cord's got to go through the wall sleeve. Okay. The final step to installing your Wine Guardian through-the-wall unit is to seal between the wall sleeve and the Wine Guardian unit on all 4 sides. Typically you would want to put a bead of caulk all the way around between the 2 pieces of metal. We also supply insulation strips with self-adhesive backing that you can also use to help seal around all 4 sides of your Wine Guardian unit. After installation, the only other item is to plug in your power supply. This is an LCDI plug. It's a standard 120 volt. 60 hertz US power plug. Occasionally the test button will be hit prior to shipping and you'll have to reset that button, and that's the top button right there. On the Classic and Sentinel series, your power plug will be on the outside or on the condensing side of the unit. On the Defender, this plug is actually on the inside or the evaporator side. You can push the Defender through an outside wall and the power supply needs to be on an inside wall. Sentinel series and the Defender series, you'll have a drain hole that will come with a plug. The reason for that is the Sentinel and the Defender series units will have an internal condensate re-evaporation loop in the drain pan, so you won't have to hook up an external drain. On the Classic series, they do not have an internal re-evaporation loop, so you'll have to hook up an external condensate pump or into some kind of sub-basin to get rid of that condensate. Once it's powered, you'll see that the Wine Guardian unit display is showing an off state and then a temperature in your wine cellar room. So to manually turn the through-the-wall on, you hold the center button down for 3 seconds, and what you'll see is 3 indicator lights. Once that flashes, you keep hitting your center button, that's directory on off. Once you see that button, you hit it 1 more time. Then it's in an off state. You hit your down button, that's on. You set it, and then it turns on. To get out of this screen, you wait approximately 20 seconds, and then it'll reset to the main screen where you can see your temperature. To turn it off, it's the same process. Center button to on off. Hit that again. It's in the on state, you hit down, now that's off, you set the off, and it turns off. For more information, click the link in the description.